scandal at the University of East Anglia that helped coordinate the fraud worldwide with the UN and other universities. One of the world's top academic journals rejected the work of 5 experts after a reviewer privately denounced it as harmful. The bullying of climate science skeptics must end. When did demonstrating and demonizing your opponents become so acceptable? The article goes on to break down. We also have it up at Infowars.com. And the full article breaks down how they then, even in some cases, got people to lose their jobs in the U.S. and England. This is what happens. Oh, you've got a hit show on the cooking channel. Your 2 Christian brothers. Your show's not even about Christianity, but it's discovered that you're secretly Christian. You're fired from your hit show. I mean, this is literally the Christians having to go back underground like in Rome, in the catacombs or something. I mean, that's the level of hardcore authoritarianism we're seeing. This is the kind of stuff you have in China against the Buddhist Falun Gong. They're like Buddhist light. They're not even Buddhist. They follow Buddhist meditation for exercise. But because they are unworldly people, they tend to be more moral, and the Chinese Communist government hunts them down, puts them in facilities, tests their DNA and blood, and then harvests their organs at leisure. That is the incredible evil. And speaking of the censorship, Dinesh D'Souza's trial is coming up. He's still trying to make his movie and release it by July 4th. President Obama's half-brother backs out of interview with Dinesh D'Souza. He'd already done the interview for the new film, but somehow was backed out of it. Mark Obama, whose political world differs from that of the president, was to appear in the conservative filmmaker's upcoming movie, America. And I'd read he'd already interviewed him, but I guess he had a more expansive interview set up. The D'Souza thought that he had the blockbuster interview set up with Mark Obama that was to appear in his upcoming film, America, but President Obama's half-brother has pulled out following the conservative filmmaker's federal indictment on charges that he violated campaign finance laws, getting friends to give money to his friend who was running for the Senate. I mean, I thought that's what politics is. No, you're not allowed to give money to the Tea Party. You're not allowed to be a Christian or pro-life. You're not allowed to be a anthropogenic global warming skeptic, because we live in a liberal country where we arrest you. And the FCC wants to take over the internet. And they want to bring in taxation, regulation, and inspectors in newsrooms that don't even broadcast. This is all classical tyranny. Of course it is. Because when they get this all done, they're going to devalue the dollar and take your pension funds and take your bank accounts, just like in Europe, just like in Iceland, just like in Greece, just like in other areas, Cyprus. And if you don't like it, all the paramilitary police have been trained, you're a terrorist. So we better have a public debate about all this and force this out into the open now. We better have a public debate about it, because they don't want to have a debate. And why is that? Because if there is a debate, we'll have the moral high ground, the people will become politically awake and aware, and then this nightmare won't unfold. I'm going to have this added to the excellent long article written by Mikhail Phelan. The article's done by Watson earlier this year concerning Virginia, where our reporters were yesterday and where they were arrested for 3 hours, almost 3 hours, for daring to go on the base to ask to talk to the public information officer. This dovetails, leaked documents reveal Marine Corps Urban Training Center based on U.S. town, and that the training is for the American people. Whistleblower says facility with Baptist churches, farmhouses used to train foreign and domestic groups to take on the American people. Now, Mikhail Phelan's a great writer. He gets a lot of documents because he goes through our email. He has access, obviously, to it. One of our newest writers, been writing for us for a year, working for us about 6 months. And it's an excellent article, but I want him to add the clergy response team video on YouTube to show folks that this is going on, the preachers as spies. And I want him to add where the Army admits they're trying to take on the American people. And I want him to add our latest article dealing with all this. But here's the Marine Corps document admitting it's for America, and they're training to fight their new enemy, farmers and ranchers. The rural community is who they're going to finally mop up during the Civil War.
Gentlemen.
Portion of this hour and into the third hour today. But here's this latest article that I'm going to be covering in more detail this Sunday with Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs and David Knight in studio to not just talk about what happened to them in Virginia going to Fort A.P. Hill and getting arrested, but that the federal government run by the globalists is openly training under NLEO 9, 14 different foreign nations to invade and occupy the U.S. So I'm going to have NLEO 9 added to this latest article as well. Because what Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com do that other news organizations don't is I don't like articles just on one subject. I like articles that by the bottom tie it together with the larger image of what's going on. And it's sensational that we've gotten these secret Marine Corps documents confirmed that they're training to take on basically everybody's granddaddy, anybody who's independent in a rural area. Globalists always, or any takeover group, takes over the cities first, then the suburbs, then the small towns, then the rural areas. And they fan out to subdue and dominate. And the entire Pentagon program, the Emergency Centers Establishment Act, the Rural Affairs Commission that is under the Pentagon and Homeland Security is putting plainclothes troops in every town and city, literally spying on people, and then bringing in Agenda 21 federal money to buy off the town leadership. And they are training to take on small towns everywhere because they know when they order the gun confiscation, when they order the 80% taxation, when they order this, they're going to take over the town centers and control the roads. And that is what is in all of the public documents. So much of this is public, but they don't want us on these bases. They don't want us talking to the Marines because they don't want public awareness to then have a discussion. They want it in Army Times, Stars and Stripes going, yeah, the Army's training to take on domestic groups. They think the Tea Party's the main enemy now. It's good. Or to have the C-SPAN have a general on to talk about it. So at one level, they admit it to soften us up and get us ready. And so the troops all hear it and go, well, it must be okay. I mean, you know, it's in Stars and Stripes. It's in the Army Times. But for the general public, oh, there's no militarization of police. There's no armored vehicles getting deployed to every town. There's no weapons caches and helicopters getting put in. Oh, no. We're like, oh, here's an official Homeland Security document saying it's gun owners, returning veterans, and Christians are the main enemy. And at first they said, oh, that document's not real. And later they went, no, it's real. And you watch. It is going to be gun owners and rural groups and veterans. They are the terrorists. So this is the giant buildup for war with the American people. Leaked documents reveal Marine Corps Urban Training Center based on U.S. town. Whistleblower says facility with Baptist church, farmhouses used to train foreign and domestic groups. Newly leaked Marine Corps documents detail yet another military urban training center that more closely resembles a small U.S. town than a foreign combat zone. And again, when they admit Northcom is for the American people, folks go, okay, it's in the document, big deal. But when you see the town, it brings it home. The document entitled Military Operations on Urban Terrain Collective Training Facility details the specifics of a mock 30-acre town located at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Originally built in 1990, new additions to the facility include Baptist church, a police station, several farmhouses have transformed the layout of the once international town. Yeah, part of it looks European. According to the military whistleblower provided the documents to InfoWars, U.S. Marines at the facility have been tasked with training soldiers, law enforcement agencies, and Homeland Security. Yeah, look, they're all buying weapons and bullets and training for us in skills such as fighting in wooded areas, urban patrolling, forcible entry, and night fighting techniques. The facility is also being used to cross-train foreign troops from the United Nations. By the way, folks, if this all goes down, you don't go out and night fight the Marines. The veterans are going to go find you at your houses and in the bars and on the streets. They're going to see your tattoo in a store, and they're going to follow you outside. You understand that? So part of this is a narrative where they're training like we're going to have the British and the blue coats march into each other and fix bayonets and shoot each other. That went out in the days when George Washington got rid of it. You understand that? If it goes to a civil war, it's going to be fought on the streets and in your houses. We're going to come for you.